What is happening, everybody? Josh here from Spawn Fly Fish, and we're back with another tying tutorial. We got a good one for you today. We are utilizing the Spawn Polliwog tails in a predator shrimp fly. Stay tuned, it's going to be awesome. Alrighty, in the vise we have a new hook for us here at Spawn Fly Fish, the SC17 Tarpon hook from Gamakatsu. And we are going to be tying on a size 1/0. This is going to be our big game shrimp fly, and this is a good one. Alright, we're going to throw some thread down. I'm going to clean it up there a little bit. Don't go past the curvature of the hook here, just right before it. We're not going to have a lot of space to fit all this in, but it'll all make sense as we bring it to life. First thing we're going to do is take some Spawn's Fluorescent Southern Peach Schlappen, and we're going to utilize this to bolster up the front section of this shrimp fly. So a few wraps there. And really just utilizing this to, again, give some profile to the front of this fly. They don't need to be touching wraps. We're going to bring it all back upon itself and tie over it, and you'll see that here in 1 second. I did pick a Schlappen feather with a narrow tip because I don't want this to be too bulky. So as you can see right there, that's going to be plenty. We're going to tie that off, and then I'll show you what I meant by it doesn't need to be touching wraps. So we have this space. It's not exactly perfect, not exactly clean. Hold it back like so, and then just tie over it. Perfect. And it's going to give you that nice little poof that we like. Alrighty. Next thing we're tackling here is a Spey Hackle feather. And I especially picked one with really long fibers here. And we are going to do the exact same, starting right behind where the Schlappen ended. Tie that down. This is going to really give it that shrimpy look here. Get that first wrap to go. And again, they don't have to be touching. We're going to bring them all back and tie over it all really secure. Again, this is a big game shrimp fly, so we want these materials to be really stuck in there. Alright, that's one more wrap in there for good measure. Bring it a little closer. And tie it down. Again, same thing that we did with the Schlappen. We're going to pull it all back. Make sure you get all the fibers there. And bring it down. So there we go. As you can start to see the start of this shrimp fly. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to just give it a teeny bit of flash here with 2 strands of crystal flash. Split down the middle and wrapped over, both of them just right on top. Give it a little pizzazz there. Alright, wouldn't be a simple little shrimp fly without some easy shrimp eyes, so we are going to give this fly a little bit of life here with these eyes, and we're going to want to use the entire tab here because I want it to stick out. As you can see, I'm bringing it, it's going to have this bump that we've kind of created by stacking and bringing those materials back upon themselves, and that's what we're really looking for, as well as that Schlappen is going to give a little more profile than the Spey Hackle, so it's going to push those eyes up and out. So looking pretty good. You can, if it's not quite the way you want it to, just back it off a wrap and tighten it down a little closer, and it'll push it out a little bit more. Alrighty. Now we got some UTC wire. We're going to tie in that UTC wire on top. Do our best to cover it up without cutting our thread here. And this is going to really bring it, this finished product here, to life, and you'll see why here in a second. Alright, now we're going to bring it up just behind the eye here and get some ice dub in UV shrimp pink. Here in a second you're really going to see this fly come to life. And again, this is a big game shrimp fly. We're just dubbing our thread here. We have some Danville 210, so it dubs pretty nice without the need for any wax. Need a little more. Try and get a little bit of a profile taper here by adding some more dubbing to the front section of this, and then taper it off as you get closer to the eye of this hook, like so. Alrighty, now for the final element, and what kind of brings this all to life, the spawn polliwog tail. So we're going to get that out of the way here. We're going to see how this looks. This is going to give it that real kicking motion. We want it to tie off just a little bit there. Okay, perfect. Tie that in there nice and secure. We'll get plenty of wraps over it here in a second. And this is where that UTC wire is going to come into play. And we're just going to wrap it around here. Make sure I get some good first wraps, even distribution, but also keeping in mind that you want this secure. This is going to get chewed on by some big, hungry predators. There we go. We're going to brush it out here in a second, but we'll lock that down, and we're going to give it a pretty good thread finish here, so don't be too worried. I'm going to turn that over just for a second so I can snip it off, and then I'll be back where you have your line of sight. There we go. Alrighty here. This is going to get the movement from our polliwog tail, but also keep that shrimp profile when it's wet. It's a really cool little fly here. Already we got a good thread foundation. Polliwog tail's wrapped on there really nicely. It's all straight on top, which is what we want. Take our whip finish here. Throw in a few. We're going to take our dubbing brush tool here and brush this out, even including the polliwog tail. Give it that profile on top that you want, and then brush out that ice dub on the bottom. Give it a little more of a shrimpy look and feel. Last thing we have to do here, a little bit of head cement, and we are good to go. That is a big game shrimp, very, very simple. Utilizes our polliwog tails, which are notorious for catching very large predatory species. Might need a bodkin for this. You don't want to get this on the polliwog tail. We're going to do our best to just get a little bit in there. Do be sure to add some head cement. And that really does it. So this shrimp's going to really kick. These fibers and flash are going to give it that lifelike feel, as well as those easy shrimp eyes is going to really pop. When it slows down, it'll add a little extra movement from these polliwog tails. And that's how it does. Really simple little fly. Really cool little profile. Big game fish, don't know what's coming. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you guys like this fly. Get out there and catch some fish, and we'll see you guys next time.